Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, family. This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism. I want to address something. Like, my new channel is up, so I uploaded some videos that I thought would be relevant that I recently did to my new channels, and I did one or two videos on Bill Cosby, and it actually caused me to lose some subscribers. Like, somebody actually said unsubscribed, and then they went to this diatribe about how I was so wrong about Bill Cosby, and I lost maybe like 10 subscribers or something. So I just wanted to address that and say, don't let the door hit you on your way out, bitches. Fuck Bill Cosby, and fuck you if you support him. So that's my position on Bill Cosby. I have a multitude of videos talking about my feelings on the man, so I'm not going to waste my time on that. But I just wanted to address you Ralph Tresvant sensitive ass Negroes and let you know that I don't give a fuck what you feel or what you think about what my opinion is, because I don't arrive at my opinion just haphazardly. I actually do some research before I open up my mouth and say something about somebody. So fuck you and fuck Bill Cosby. Now that we got that little ugliness out of the way, let me address the March on Washington. See, I feel I can do this video now because when I first found out about the march, I was heated, I was upset, I was angry. And when I went to do a video about it, it came across really harsh and really caustic. And I said, you know what? Let me just not put that out for public consumption. Let me just sit back, get calm, and talk about this so that people can understand why it upsets me so much. I believe that we need to teach critical thinking in our schools, and we need to do it at a preschool level and at every level of schooling. Because I notice two things that annoy the hell out of me. One is a one-dimensional thinker, and I'm being nice when I call our leadership one-dimensional thinkers because I think it's a little bit more nefarious than that. But if I'm being positive, I'll say they're one-dimensional thinkers. Another thing that irritates me is people who can't critically think. So what happens is you are easily distracted and led off the point. See, when you're having a conversation about anything, if you're on a topic, you have to have everything that's going on, every point made, relevant to the topic. What I see happening, and this is why it's so frustrating for me to watch television, because what they do is, let's say the topic is Michael Brown. Now the topic is Michael Brown and the death of Michael Brown by a policeman, and the fact that the policeman didn't even get indicted so that the case would even go to trial. That's the point. That's the discussion. When you introduce black on black crime and being a good father to your child and all this other stuff, that has nothing to do with the point. It's almost as if I'm talking about football, and that's the context of our discussion, and then I break out into a conversation about Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan and Larry Bird and Kobe Bryant. It's not relevant. And every point that I could be making about all of the basketball issues and topics could be 100% factual. But the point is it relevant to what we're talking about? And this is where I see a lot of our people get sidetracked. When you start talking about Michael Brown, do not let people introduce black on black crime into the conversation. It's irrelevant. If a cop kills your mother, how is it relevant that, oh, well, you know, Pookie and Sharpton down the street shot each other up the other day, so, I mean, how could you really complain about your mother being shot? Wait, what sense does that make? So that's two of the things that irritate me. But let's get to the one-dimensional thinking. We have black leadership who, after 60-something years of all of the data laid before us, this is the most that you can come up with. Michael Brown is dead. Trayvon Martin's dead. Eric Garner's dead. No justice has been found. And your big solution to the problem is another fucking march? Are you kidding me? And what angers me more than anything is that how is it that you are able to present that as a solution to our problems and be taken seriously by our community? Now, the march, I heard the numbers were, like they had thousands of people out there. They anywhere between, their numbers wildly variant. It could be like 5,000 to 25,000, but it wasn't as many numbers as the Million Man March because, like I said, the Million Man March won't ever happen again. Like that, the fact that they were able to get that many brothers or that many people in one place at the same time, I can't see that happening again. Can't see it happening unless, well, let me not go there. So this is an example of what I call one-dimensional thinking amongst our leadership. Now, what's the solution to the problem? I remember at the first Million Man March, they raised this as a solution. They said it's about 44 million black people here in America. If we can create a fund, an African American fund, where people can donate, I hate that word donate, where people can invest $10 a month. Now, if you take $10 and times it by 44 million, you got $440 million a month. Now, of course, with everything, you're not going to get 100% participation. So let's just say half of those 44 million. You got 220 million a month. That's a lot of money. Now, the purpose for that fund wasn't for somebody to get a new mansion or to get a new car or a new suit or some gold rings or their hair slicked back. The purpose of that fund was to buy politicians and buy institutions and organizations. Meaning, if a group is saying that they work for African Americans or black people, then you have to finance that group. If a politician is going to pass legislation in your behalf, you have to finance that politician. There are other stuff that financing can be used for that I don't feel comfortable going over online, but let's just say it's related to police brutality. It could also be used for that. So the first thing that has to happen is the leadership has to, first of all, point out the need for that. Because right now, the people don't know what to do. The people are so confused as to what to do with the police brutality, the disrespect coming from the system, and white folks just in general in this country. And they don't know what to do about it. So they look to the leadership for answers, and the leadership in their infinite wisdom decides, let's have another march. This is my problem, man. It's like, I'm going to tell you straight up. The reason why I get frustrated, but I don't feel hopeless is because I know that the solution is easy and simple. The solution to our problem is nationhood. Land, infrastructure, nationhood. That's the solution to our problem. 3 little words. Now the details is something that that has to be discussed amongst experts. Like, what's important to me is how do you build a bridge and have the bridge built to code so that cars won't, fall into the damn river or the ocean when they ride over it. That's important shit to me. That's stuff that engineers should be involved in. You know what I'm saying? We need to discuss the layout of the land. What land are we going to use? What's the layout of the land? Is it going to be 100% green? Are we going to use renewable energy? Things like this are the things that are important discussions. So I have it clear in my mind what we should do and what the solution is. Now in America, our immediate solution is we need to have a fund that is an African American fund that we can use to fund any endeavors that we want, and then we can have a council of people responsible for that fund and can allocate how those funds should be spent. That council has to be elected by us. It can't be some person who decided that they just want to speak for black folks and represent black folks. It has to be people that's approved by us. I'm being very, very simple with this. It's not, I'm overstating things and making it just easy and digestible, but I'm just giving you a basic general premise of what we need. Because in America, when you work, before you get your money, your paycheck, taxes are already taken out and allocated to finance the institutions of the United States government. So if you think you're going to have some type of black empowerment or some type of black nationhood and you don't finance it, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I can't think of one institution that survives without financing. And the United States government is financed by everyone. It's financed by black nationalists. It's financed by Moors. It's financed by the Hebrew Israelites. It's financed by the 5% Nation. It's financed by the Nation of Islam. It's financed by the Nuwaubian Nation. Anytime you do any type of commerce in this country and you are taxed, you are paying for the infrastructure of this nation, the infrastructure and the institutions of this nation. So if you want your own nation, guess what? You're going to have to pay some type of tax or some type of funding have to be extracted from what you do in the commerce and your salaries or whatever to finance the nation. That's just the reality of it. So we out here crying about what we can do, what we can do. You can't do nothing until you get money. You have to finance what you want done. So, sitting up here listening to people and I don't want to mention Al Sharpton because I think he gets picked on too much. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a big fan of his, but I'm also not a big detractor of his. He's irrelevant to what we're talking about. He's a single individual, and he has brought light to a lot of cases that normally no one would have light brought to. So I can't get mad at him for that. And there's other issues that I have with him, but I hate even having a discussion about him because he's not fucking important. What's important is we have to have a consolidation of funds and resources so that we can finance the things that we want. And we can end police brutality in 30 days. I have a plan to end police brutality in 30 days. I will not say it over the air, but I will introduce it as a bill to the nation if you want me to. But anyway, I just want to talk about this whole marching shit. Marching is a fucking waste of time. Voting is a fucking waste of time because who are you voting for? The people that unless you get money out of politics, all you're doing is picking which corrupt politician you want to represent you, a Republican one or a Democratic one. They all work for the corporations, and they all work for big oil, and they all work for all of the institutions that want to keep us in the fucking dark ages in terms of development. And the people that sold out this country and sold out everybody, sold out white people, black, and all in between. But that's their issue. I'm concerned about black African people, and as far as I'm concerned, we got to have land off of this out of this country. We got to have it on our continent. Sorry, I'm not arguing about that anymore. Then we got to have infrastructure, and in order to have infrastructure, you got to have financing. And then when you have those things, then we can finally say that we're a nation of people. This is not complicated. This is not hard. If we get our shit together, we could actually fix our problems within one generation. So I'm not hopeless. I'm not one of these people that sit there and go, oh, black people ain't never da 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 da. I'm frustrated because it's so fucking simple. It's so simple that I'm not going to the big wigs anymore. I'm going to the person that's listening to this video and getting you to tell your friends that the solution to our problem is land, infrastructure, and nationhood. Land, infrastructure, nationhood. Land, infrastructure, nationhood. How many fucking times do I have to say it before it seeps in and people realize that this is the only solution to our problem here in America? Talk to you good people later. Peace.